Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We are looking at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame due to the fact that today at 8 p.m. the weekly candle closes, and then we will be setting the motion for next week. One thing I wanted to point out, the CME closed on Friday at 38,285, so I do expect us to float around that level until 6 p.m. and then we can see some moves. And our weekly level, you can see right now the 21 EMA is testing into the 55, and if the 21 EMA goes under the 55, we will be in a very bearish moment. We are also testing under the 236 fib, which if we close under this 236 fib for the weekly, I can look for a deeper retrace to the downside. But I do see a structure here that looks a little bit like a head and shoulder. So if next week we do see movement to the upside, maybe we make a lower high to retest the 382 one more time and then break under this decisively. If this week we do close under here and next week we continue to the downside, I would look for a move into $33,000 area for the retrace back up. Losing this level of support, our measured move here is going all the way to 28,900. And then if we go there, then 33,000 will be a level of resistance before we can look for upper movement to the top side. So this is the game plan on a weekly. If we come into the 200 and lose the 200, it is going to be very, very bad. We will be looking for a move all the way to 20,000 basically. But this level of support at 26,900 should be a nice area for the price to bounce off of at least once before completely going down. And this will move like this. So if we look at this price action for a few weeks, we can slowly trickle down, and come into this area, consolidate sideways, and then go up. But losing this 200, it will cause a big reaction to the lower levels, and hopefully this level is support before we even break lower. So anything is possible, but the path right now is clear. If this week ends like this and next week we have a reprieve bounce, I'm looking for a very dead cat bounce like reprieve bounce. It's going to probably be a lower high into this 382 and then probably just roll right on over to find the low one more time before going up. I don't even think a low will be officially set in until these lows are broken once more. Once this liquidity is captured, then I can be like, okay, we won't go lower. But if we do come lower than this $33,000 level, my next target will be to capture the liquidity under this level right here, under 29,000. Just a quick wick. So fast, quick panic move right under 29,000 and then bring us right back up into 33 or the $37,000 level. Retrace back down to 33-ish and then back up. And that is what I would presume. That's three different scenarios, and that is Bitcoin on a weekly time scale. Now let me go to a daily. On the daily, the damage is slightly done. We did open and close outside of the Bollinger Band. We closed outside, we opened outside, we are testing into the Bollinger Band. We are getting in, but this date is long from over. If we lose this Bollinger Band for the close again today, I would expect the Bollinger Band to push the next daily candle down. So if the weekly closes like this, Monday, CME Open, New York Stock Exchange Open, I would expect us to continue the drop down and then fill in this entire area, wiggle around, and consolidate into this $33,000 area. And I know that's a big drop. It's $6,000 almost from 38,000 to 33. We're looking at a nice chunk, but that is what the price is looking like most likely to do. The path of least resistance right now is obviously to the downside. The only way we're going to stop this downside move is if a big buyer steps up and brings the price up to close out all these shorts that have been piling over here, over here, over here, over here. The market maker does see the money starting to stack to the top side. So when he wants to make this move quick to the upside, I don't know, but when it does happen, it will be fast. So if you are planning to long this asset, DCAing into these lower levels is a smart move. So that way you can take profit immediately once we start testing these highs again. That's exactly how I would play. I would DCA into these levels, and then I would start shaping my allocation in these levels, the resistance to the top side, because all these EMAs are just going to be dropping quickly now due to the fact that price is going down heavily. And we already lost our 382, so now the saving grace is this bottom support. Oh, we lost the 236. I'm sorry. We lost the 236 already. So our saving grace is these 37K support, this 33K support. Everything else is just air in between. Maybe we find a bounce off the middle of this at 36. So we have $1,000 increments to look at. Going to the 4-hour. Oh, let me remove some of these drawings. Going to the 4-hour, we are looking at. We are looking at a test into the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So on a 4-hour timescale, volume is slowing down for the sells, but we have another 3 hour and 39 minutes to see how this candle closes. If we close like this, a retracement to the top side is very likely. Keep in mind that 38.2 is where 38.3 is where the CME closed on Friday. So this right now looks like a weak sell candle. We can look for the next candle to push us back up into the 21. And then from here, we might get rejected again when CME opens, or we can test into the top where the breakdown was and get rejected. If we can close a candle 4 hours above this level, which is 39,500, I would assume that we might have the bottom in, and we can look for testing these highs at 39,500, 40,000, and then trying to reclaim the 200 on a 4-hour, which is at 40,800. If we start closing 4-hour candles above this 200, I would say the bottom is in, and we can look for a quick path to the upside because the shorts will get closed out quicker and quicker. And as the shorts close, they're market buying. So price will accelerate to the upside much quicker. So keep all this in mind for Bitcoin. We're going to go look at Ethereum now on a 4-hour. Actually, we're going to look at it on a weekly first. The Ethereum on a weekly is a little bit more precarious than Bitcoin due to the fact that our weekly sell volume is increasing and we are losing the 55 EMA, which was our median level of support. We are losing the 382, which was at 2,927. The most reasonable target right now is 2,450. If this middle of the channel is lost, then we can look for a bounce maybe on the bottom of the channel one more time, or maybe retrace one more time up to the middle, and then we can look at support at the 236, which is 2464. Keep in mind, Bitcoin already lost this, so we can probably assume, Ethereum is trying to follow Bitcoin or trying to hold it up, but it's getting dragged down with it. And then we have a last level of support after this fib at the 100 EMA at 2351. Losing this, we have these lower targets, which we've been talking about all week because of this measured move at 1715 and at worst case scenario, the 200, which is at 1624. This scenario of this measured move breakdown is exactly what Solana just did. If you look at our Solana video, you can see what I'm talking about. This little measured move is literally what just played out yesterday. If the week closes like this, I think next week is possible that we continue to the downside. there's no slowdown in sell volume and we are losing EMAs. So we need to see if the support is here. So I'm expecting price to gravitate into this level because that's where the price was consolidating and held at support before. But since we've tested this level so many times, I'm not going to be surprised to lose it to the downside. Test this bottom of the Bollinger Band, look for a pop back up. If we lose the bottom of the Bollinger Band with the weekly close outside of it, we should be looking at much lower targets. So keep that in mind for Ethereum on a weekly. Going to a daily, as I was saying on the weekly, we can bounce off this middle of the channel and find the reprieve bounce, but the reprieve bounce, even if it comes, is only going to the 21 EMA, which corresponds with the top of the channel, as well as the fib at 382, which is 2,927. Coming into that much level of resistance, I would expect it probably to roll right on over and test the lows one more time. If we lose it, then we can look to test this 2450 for the Ethereum and hopefully find some support, and we can hold this level sideways and then go up. If we can't hold this level sideways, we come down here and we play around with it, lose it, and then we start testing it and then lose it, then you know the lower levels are going to be active for the target. And we have that already marked out, which was 1715. So that is on a daily on Ethereum. Let's go to a 4-hour. All right, so on a 4-hour, we are in the middle of our retracement to the top side. And as I said in the daily, we are going to probably find some resistance at 2800. If we can close a 4-hour candle above 2850, I would say we still have lots of levels of resistance ahead of us, but a path to the upside is likely. We have a lot of resistance, layers and layers of resistance onto the top side. So it's going to be in the hands of the bulls to bring this above and hold it above. On Friday, CME closed at 2783, and look where we're at. We're basically floating around that level, and 2783 is also around where the 21 EMA will be in the next 4 hours or when CME opens. So let's see if we can have the price go sideways until CME opens and then see what happens. But since Friday was such a large sell-off in the stock market, you might get a dead cat bounce at CME open or when the New York Stock Exchange opens, or you might just have continued selling. It can go either way. So it's better not to assume or predict right now. It's kind of a wait and see approach that I want to play due to the fact that both Bitcoin and Ethereum are on the defense to the downside. And right now the pressure is building. Yes, the sell volume is slowing down on a 4-hour scale on Ethereum, but we need Ethereum to start closing above the 21 and then the 21 EMA to get above the 55 EMA to show that, hey, the move to the downside is over. Every time the 21 EMA tests into that 55, we're getting hard rejections down if it even touches it. So we need to get all our EMAs into more bullish stance. And right now, everything is showing the path to the downside is the one with least resistance. So it's time to be cautious. It's time to be careful. But it's times like this when I am looking to enter my positions. I look for the blood. I look for these panic drops to start DCAing with a plan already in progress. So now I know if it comes over here and starts breaking down, I want to start accumulating this asset to the downside and then have a tight stop loss right under 2473. If we lose 2473, I can wait and acquire this asset lower in that $1,700 area if we get there. If we start coming here and bouncing right back off, that's fine. I'm not jumping in and rushing to buy if we come over here and start retracing, because I want to see, is it going to break the middle of the channel and go above, or are we going to get rejected again and consolidate and squeeze and consolidate? If we're breaking above again and we start seeing closes above and we see price action start floating and floating higher and higher to the top side, okay, that's fine. I can then be like, okay, I can look for the little bit of a retracement, buy and long, and then hold because of the fact that, hey, the retracement is in. So that's the intention that, hey, I know I lost this much potential gain, but if the bottom is in, then from here, it's only going to go up, right? So why do I need to rush in before I need to? If it's doing this and getting squeezed down lower and lower, and I buy all my asset over here, well, now I'm in part of this drop. And if we lose this level from here and then we lose this level here, I lost all this potential gain anyway, right? So either you're making this gain by the risk, or you're just losing it due to the fact you got in early. Well, I rather not lose money. I rather have a potential lower profit than a realized loss. I rather have my profit, my potential profits be lower than me risking liquidity here, not even knowing if we're going to hold this fib or not, because this fib can just let us tank down. So that's my approach. I want to just wait and see and have the evidence that, hey, the bottom is in before I want to jump in for a long. But now I know that it's very possible that we're near the bottom. So it's time to start DCAing. And that is slowly getting into a position for the top side move, because we have been fighting the downside for a few weeks now. And I would think a reprieve bounce is about in order. And if I do take this reprieve bounce long, then I will have a tight stop loss as well. So I'm mitigating the loss as much as possible in case we do start breaking these support levels to the downside. So that is my report on Ethereum, guys. I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. I hope everyone is ready for whatever happens. If not, please don't feel hesitant to not ask me any questions. If you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the section below. I will get back to you. If you have any assets you want me to cover, leave it in the section below. I will cover them ASAP. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please don't forget to press the bell button for notifications, and I will talk to you guys soon.